How's everybody doing out there today? Friday, August 20th already, 2021. Yeah, August already. August almost gone. Yeah. So, how's everybody doing out there this morning? Feels good. It's foggy out here. I'm along the Ohio River here. If you go back down there, it's real foggy. You probably can't see anything at all. It's around 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. Just getting on here to see how everybody's doing out there this morning. So kids just went to school. My oldest ones are getting ready to go to college here in a couple hours. Takes like a minute for this thing to kick in. 87 pulse, 96 oxygen. 87 pulse, 88 pulse. It just jumps all over the place, and all I'm doing is standing up out here. 86 pulse, 96 oxygen. Yeah, it's kind of weird because the sun's out. That's why it's flashing like that. 84, 94, 92 pulse, 96 oxygen level. It's in the 90s, bouncing around. When I'm done with this video, I'll take my blood pressure medicine. Then I take a beta blocker roughly around 11:30, between 11:15 and 11:30. It just slows your heart rate down because my heart's constantly pounding and racing for no reason at all. They call it inappropriate sinus tachycardia. Sometimes it gets real bad. It's to the point where it gets so bad you want to go to the hospital, but they don't do nothing. It's just a waste of time even going to the hospital because they don't treat it. They sit there and stare at it like they're seeing things, like they're on drugs, and oh, it's got to be anxiety. They say that because they're not a cardiologist. They don't have any at the hospital. Like I said, time after time, they guess what your heart problem is. They ask you stupid questions like how much coffee you had. They check your fever. They say, oh, you got to have a fever. No fever. Don't drink 20 cups of coffee, and sure to hell don't drink 4 or 5 2 liters of Mountain Dew a day. They think it's caffeine. They don't know how to read EKGs over there. They don't know how to read blood work. They take blood work. They do a full blood work thing, and don't even tell you what they see. They lie, say everything looks fine when it doesn't. The EKG looks normal, but when my cardiologist looks at the same EKG, same blood work, he said it's not okay. So what's that tell you? It's a waste of time going to the hospital. They can't read an EKG. If they can't tell you their blood results, then they're no good. That's what happened to me multiple times over the past 8-9 months. Go in there with a high pulse rate and very high blood pressure, and walked out with the same problem. They didn't treat it. So what sense of going? They already did that at least 9 different times. And put down on the paperwork, on the discharge paperwork, was seen for anxiety issues every single time. Was seen for anxiety problems. And it's not. It's actually a heart rhythm problem. You see what I mean? I'm in a Facebook group, and some people on YouTube have the same issue I have, and they run the same problem. They always say anxiety. So blame it on something else. Just like when someone has a wreck, when they're at fault, they say, it wasn't my fault, it was your fault. They blame it on something else just to get you out of there and not treat it. That's how bad the hospital's gotten to me. Yeah. 5 or 6 years ago or 7 years ago, I had heart issues. I went to the hospital. They kept me overnight. They monitored me. They gave me a stress test the next morning. They did an MRI on my heart. They kept me on a heart monitor. They gave me nitrates for chest pains. They did a thorough job. Nowadays, nope. They don't care. They don't care. They don't have cardiologists there no more. They must have got rid of the cardiologist. There must be a high demand for cardiologists. I don't know. I have no clue what's going on. But the healthcare really went downhill in the past 7 years. It got to a point where my insurance company sent a nurse over here because I went to the hospital for anxiety, and I kept telling my insurance company called me. I kept on telling them, no, it's not anxiety, it's this. They told me my insurance company said, quit going to the hospital. And they act like they didn't want to pay the bills because they put anxiety on the paperwork. So I had a problem. That created issues right there. I told her I was misdiagnosed. They don't have a cardiologist there, so the nurses and doctors guessed what I had, and I went in with a high pulse rate and very high blood pressure, and they did not treat it. So it's like you go in there with a big cut, and they don't treat it, and walk in bleeding, you walk out bleeding. They said, oh, that's it. They'll say, oh, that's just anxiety, and you're out the door. So yeah, that's what the issues is. It's like an urgent care, basically. If you go there with a serious problem, you're pretty much screwed. My neighbors and friends tell me if you wouldn't go to that hospital, you would die. And that happened to my wife's grandmother. She went there with, she had a bad stroke, and they were guessing what it was, and she died there. And the time they got her up in the room, she died on them. And they were getting the morphine IV bag up to her, but the time they got it up to her, she was already dead. So, there you go. Guessing, guessing, guessing. They don't want to do MRIs, they don't want to do CAT scans, they don't want to do any of that. They want to get you in and out very quickly. Blame it on something else just to get you out of the door. Yep. We want COVID patients, they said. So I don't know. I mean, it's weird. That's why I don't go there when I have an episode, because I know the issue. I know what they're going to do. I know my nurse says, "Oh, it's that high, you better go to the hospital." For what? They're not going to do nothing. Been there, done that. It's a waste of time. Alrighty. Yeah. It's a waste of time. Rush you in, rush you out. Was seen for anxiety problems. Yeah. So how everybody's doing out there this morning? I'm gonna go in there and take my blood pressure medicine and eat me a banana and something to eat. I'm hungry, starving. It's almost 8 o'clock right now in the morning. It's Friday already, August 20th, 2021. You believe that? Yeah. Any NFL games on today? Yes, there is. Preseason games.